You are standing outside. It is 50 degrees below zero. You have no house, no jacket, no food, no way to call for help, and the sun went down 3 hours ago. You would be dead within the hour. Ancient humans did this every single winter for 2 million years, and not only did they survive it, they thrived well enough to eventually populate every cold region on the planet. No central heating, no insulated walls, no grocery store, just them, a small group of people, and everything they had figured out over generations of survival. So what did they know that you don't? It starts with fire, and fire deserves more credit than it usually gets. Not just warmth, everything. Fire extended the day when the sun disappeared early. It kept predators away at night. It cooked food, making calories easier to absorb at the exact time of year when food was hardest to find. And it kept the group together, which in a winter that could kill you within hours was itself a survival strategy. Ancient humans had been using controlled fire for at least 400,000 years. Significant portions of warmer months were spent collecting fuel for winter. Preparation never really stopped. Shelter was next, and this is where ancient humans were more impressive than most people expect. Archaeological evidence shows structures built from mammoth bones, stretched animal hides, and woven branches, many partially dug into the ground itself. The earth a few feet below the surface stays at a stable temperature year-round. Digging down even a meter gave a natural buffer against above-ground cold. Layers of hide with air gaps between them. Small sealed spaces where multiple bodies shared warmth. These shelters worked on the same basic principles as modern insulation, just built from whatever the landscape provided. 10 humans in a small sealed space generate a surprising amount of heat, which leads to something almost nobody mentions when talking about ancient survival. Community was thermal regulation, sleeping pressed together under animal hide blankets, bodies in constant contact. This was not sentiment. It was as practical as fire or shelter. The warmth of several bodies could make the difference between surviving a night and not. Ancient human groups in cold climates lived in constant physical proximity, not because they preferred it, but because it kept them alive. Then there is clothing. This part surprises most people. Bone needles have been found at sites dating back over 50,000 years. Ancient humans were not just draping themselves in loose skins. They were sewing fitted, layered garments with closures that trapped warm air and blocked cold. A complete set of winter clothing could take months to produce. Fur was selected by species for insulation. Fat was used for waterproofing. This was skilled, specialized work passed carefully from generation to generation. Food was the other major challenge. Animals migrate, plants disappear. Ancient humans solved this several ways simultaneously. They dried meat, smoked fish, and preserved roots throughout warmer months. They buried food in frozen ground, using the cold as a natural freezer. They hunted large animals specifically for their winter fat content, which provided dense calories when nothing else was available. And when necessary, they moved, following food sources rather than staying in one place and slowly running out. And then there is knowledge. This is the factor that underlies everything else. 2 million years of winters survived before yours means an enormous accumulated body of understanding passed from parent to child without books or writing. Which plants could be found under snow? How to track animals in winter? How to read incoming weather before it arrived? Where water could still be found when everything had frozen? None of this was written down. It lived in stories, in demonstrations, in memory carried forward across hundreds of thousands of winters. The real answer is not any single thing. It was fire and shelter and community and clothing and food and knowledge all working together, each one supporting the others. Remove any one of them and the system weakens. Together they worked well enough not just to survive, but to spread across every cold region on the planet and make it home. Winter did not break early humans. It built them. And everything it built is still inside you right now, sitting quietly, waiting for conditions that, fortunately, no longer require it.